Help support our coverage with a free account on Privacy, the service that keeps your bank information private when shopping online. Take control of your subscriptions and other recurring payments, plus pause and close privacy cards at any time. And get $5 right now to try the service at collision.live/privacy. Hello, Internet. I'm Scott, and this is PLUGHITZ Live Present. In June, we tend to feature startups from around the world, and this June is no different. And today we have with us a really cool guest that I will let introduce himself here. Hello.
Hi there. I'm Martin Stoiv, co-founder and CEO of AdHash's.
Very cool. So tell me all about the company.
We believe in monetizing the open and free internet. We think it's a super important mission. We spent quite a few years in the AdTech space, sort of trying to battle against all the inefficiencies that are plaguing our industry. And after a lot of experiences, a lot of building, we realized that we need to take a more, I would say, revolutionary approach where we rewrite the infrastructure from the ground up and we create something that truly preserves user privacy while allowing publishers to monetize effectively. We don't want all the quality information online to be hidden behind paywalls. So we're trying to find a business model where actually publishers can continue creating.
Well, that's fantastic. On my side, obviously, I see lots of opportunities here. As a publisher, we deal with advertisements all the time, and our goal is exactly that: not to have to hide a bunch of stuff behind a paywall. We want advertising to be efficient for us, but also effective for the user, private, not constantly stealing data. And we've got things like the Cambridge Analytica situation a couple of years ago with Facebook, all of the concerns over Google. Advertising privacy is a big deal.
It is. And even more interestingly, what we pay as consumers in terms of privacy costs is also borne by the environment in terms of carbon footprint. Just a huge amount of computational expense that goes into tracking you everywhere you go. It's not just doesn't just result in slowdown of your device and in a poor browser experience. It also means that huge data centers are replicating all over the same data sets, and they have to be stored in a bunch of different locations. And we're talking about trillions upon trillions of data points stored every day. So creating a more streamlined advertising protocol doesn't just help us as users in terms of our privacy, it also helps us in terms of making the industry a lot cleaner and a lot more sustainable.
That's fantastic. Obviously, that's a huge topic right now across all of technology. Cryptocurrency brought it into the spotlight, and now we're kind of analyzing all the industries to see how we can do better. So I'm glad to see that you're focusing on that as well. So let's take a look at let's talk about the product, the service as it is. So as an advertiser, where does this fit into your ecosystem? Most people who are advertisers go into the Facebook dashboard or the Google dashboard, and they set up their things, or into one of many podcast dashboards or whatever, to serve their ads. Where does this fit into a workflow?
In terms of workflow, I would say it's similar. So it's still a dashboard that you can log into. We try to make it super simple and intuitive to use. It will give you full control of retargeting in your data. But I think the similarities sort of end there because it gives you a lot more power. What we refer to as a dashboard is actually a complex piece of software that you can install on-premise as an advertiser, which means that you are in full control of your own data. Not only can you validate every single impression, every single click that happens on your advertising, and you know where every cent is flowing, but it also means that no one else has access to that data, not even us as a company. It's fully distributed. And I think that's a problem that's often overlooked by the industry, the way that the big tech monopolies gobble up your data and then just sell it to your competitors. It's like audience or whatever other term they might choose to use. We think it's super important for advertisers to keep all of that super strategic data to themselves and keep it private. So from a user perspective,
Wow.
it's a very similar experience, but architecturally, it's fundamentally different and focused around privacy.
Okay, so let's say I'm a gaming center, right? And I'm trying to set up advertising across whatever, right? To reach my target demographic. So I'm going to put this local into my infrastructure and control the data myself, and you're not going to see it, so you can't theoretically you get bought or
Sell it to your
whatever. You
competitor.
you're the new overlords can't sell that data to competitors. It's all private and in my collection.
Precisely. So we take privacy
Wow.
very seriously. It's not just about preserving the user privacy and not targeting them personally, but also preserving the privacy of our clients, publishers, and advertisers.
Wow. That is a very different approach to the industry, and I love it.
Yeah, well,
So,
it's a different thesis. Our thesis is that there is a lot more actionable and valuable information that might influence your purchasing decisions outside of the user's browser than inside it. So, things that happen in the real world around us change our purchasing decisions all the time. So why don't we focus on those signals and stop tracking people everywhere they go? So it's a combination of how we preserve privacy on a personal level and how we also keep the data sets of our clients secret from their competitors.
wow, that's pretty exciting. As an advertiser, I fit into all three of the categories we're going to talk about. As an advertiser, that makes me happy because I don't want my competitors to get information about the things that I'm up to, including my ad campaigns, right? That's
Yeah,
that doesn't help me. That makes things worse. So
exactly.
that's fantastic. So now let's talk about from a publishing side. That's the place where I live most of my time. So from a publisher's standpoint, um, how does this fit into our experience?
Yeah. Well, it will be very easy to implement. You would just integrate a JavaScript out in your ad server or maybe directly on your web page or app, which we actually recommend because it cuts out the number of
Hmm.
intermediaries that can see what's happening with your users and on your web pages. So if you have a hash plugin directly, you don't need to share that information with anyone else and you don't need to load heavy scripts. It typically results in ads that load about 20 to 25 times quicker, which is super important not just for the users and their experience, but also for the advertiser who get a much better viewability rate. So you as a publisher monetize better at the end of the day. So that's basically all you have to do. You use some JavaScript to display ads. Whenever a suitable ad is available to be shown to the person, they can see it. They can see why they've been targeted by an ad, and they'll have more insights into why a specific advertiser is showing whatever they're showing them. And they will also have the control of blocking anything they don't want to see. So we try to give users full control over their advertising experience. And the longer term vision would even be to allow them to essentially bid against seeing advertising. Because if you think about it, your entire online presence on a monthly basis is worth, depending on the geography you're in, somewhere between high single digit and low double digit dollars a month. Which is, we believe, a price that many people would be willing to pay to have a ad-free internet,
Hmm.
and by doing so, they will also be supporting publishers. They wouldn't be just cutting their revenues off the way they do with AdWords. It's just a
Right.
balanced way of allowing creators to create content while enjoying a less polluted and cleaner internet.
Well, that's very cool. Again, a very different approach to the industry from the players that seem to be out there now. So let's talk a little bit about the company. Normally, I would be sitting next to you at this conference, and I could see the color of your badge and get an idea of where you are in your corporate journey. But I can't. So let's talk about where are you? Are you exhibiting as an alpha or a beta or a
We're exhibiting as the beta.
as a beta? Okay, so
Yeah,
you're a little further along than the early stage, so you've probably got something out in the wild at this point.
exactly. Yes.
Okay,
We
so
have
how far
spent
along?
We spent several years in research and development before we could even deploy a product to the market. Because when your main competitors are Google and Facebook and Amazon, and not just some side business of theirs, but their core businesses, advertising, the idea for minimum viable product really goes out the window. You have to be actually able to deliver against them, and you will be putting direct A/B tests against those big players immediately by our clients. And if you don't outperform, you'll just immediately die. So we had to spend quite a bit of time of just developing and building up the protocol and the products. Then we launched in a limited market where we wanted to get some consumer feedback. But that feedback actually was overwhelming. I think the publishing industry, especially, has been super hungry for solutions that actually solve those monetization problems. So we got bombarded by all sorts of requests for features, people telling us they've been waiting for years to have this much control over their advertising. So we spent over a year just onboarding that feedback and perfecting the product. And right now we are at the stage where we are expanding internationally, getting clients from most Europe, but also in North America, and trying to keep up and trying to hire talented people to help us grow.
Well, that's fantastic. Hopefully your growth will be successful for you. If people want more information about what it is you guys are up to, or maybe to become a client, how can they do that?
They should visit AdHash.com. We try to keep the website quite informative. We always share every new software release that we do and all the new features. And I think compared to the industry average, we share a lot more information there. So hopefully that could help people learn more. And of course, if they want to ask us any questions, they can contact us directly from the website. We'll be in touch very shortly.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you taking some time out of your day. I know that this conference can be hectic. I'm assuming you're not exhibiting today. You're probably exhibiting tomorrow?
It's on Thursday.
Okay, gotcha. Well, good luck with your exhibiting. That this conference can be tiring in your exhibiting day, but I know you can make a lot of good relationships, so good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, and have a good one. Thanks for being here. All right, so again, June is going to be, the end of June here is going to be focused on startups, so definitely stick around for more of our guests over the next week or so.